over there, man. All right, so let's get into it, brothers. Today's show, man, I was talking with one of my biblical brothers, man, I like to call us. And we were discussing being perfect. And we were discussing what separates those who were perfect. Like Noah was considered perfect in his time. Job was considered perfect in his time. And there's other guys who, many of them, who were considered perfect in their time. And I say, what separates us from them? Why can't we be perfect? Why can't we do everything God tells us to do? And the truth is, it's discipline. That's really all it is. It's just about discipline. Your ability to resist temptation, your ability to withstand the pressure of doing the wrong thing. That's what makes you perfect. Because I'll tell you like this, when it comes to the laws and statutes and commandments of God, there's not one that you just have to break. There's no point in life where there has ever been one of God's laws, statutes, and commandments that I have just had to break to save my life. I just had to break it. There was none, ever. The Most High isn't the author of confusion like that. So I say to you, what is it about you and I that keeps us from exhibiting that level of discipline? Why can't we do it? As a matter of fact, why don't we do it? So today we'll discuss how discipline is the key to life and the lack thereof is the path to self-destruction. It's the path to self-destruction. If you want to be a member of this live chat moving forward, go ahead to the main channel page. Next to the subscribe button, you'll see a join button. Click that join button and come on back out with us. Because right now, we just went into that mode. You have to be able to govern yourself. And I think that many of us are so used to being controlled by outside sources that we just forget to control ourselves. We live in a world where freedoms and liberties and the ability to say and do and be whoever and whatever you want to is taking precedence over the discipline that it takes to be what you're supposed to be. Now everyone is supposed to be what they are. It doesn't matter what they choose to be. You're supposed to be that. When in actuality, we have rules on how we're supposed to be living right now. So many times you hear people, they can't control their words. Like if you don't have the discipline to not say something harmful to someone, to not say something hateful to someone, to not say something hurtful to someone, then what makes you think that you should be protected from being affected the same way by other people's words? You know why people's words don't bother me? Because I don't say negative things about people just to get a rise out of them or to make fun of them or anything. If there's no lesson in what I'm stressing, then there is no blessing. So I don't do it. There's plenty of times that someone will say something foul in a comment and you ain't slicker than me. When it come to wordplay, there ain't no way you on my level. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? I can get deeper than the devil with a shovel. You understand me? So when it boils down to it, I could say something that will ruin a person's day for the entire day. While I'm going on about my life because I could care less about what they say. The problem with that is if I start doing that, then I'm going to start caring about what people say. You have to have discipline to guard your tongue, to make sure you're not saying things that you shouldn't be saying. If you're not speaking positivity into people's lives, then what are you doing? If you're speaking every negative thing you're speaking in someone else's life, you're actually speaking it into your own life. We have to be disciplined in order to be who God put us here to be. When it comes to those temptations, somebody says something to you and you just want to lash back out at them. Have some spiritual strength. Have some spiritual aptitude to say, okay, I know what that desire is. It's not godly. So I can't do it. But you got to be able to do that and not be bothered by it where it's weighing on you. Because then you're going against yourself. If going with God is going against yourself, you have to ask yourself, what are you even doing in this life? I say again, if going against God makes you feel good about what you're doing, or if being who you want to be is going against God, you have to ask yourself, how can going with God make you feel bad? It's the same things with your health. If you're sitting there eating all those sweet cakes all the time, you're sitting there eating all those cookies and pies all the time, pouring all that sugar in that coffee. Man, let me tell you something. If you're an adult in America and you still drinking Kool-Aid, you're on your way to some sickness. Think about how many soft drinks you've had in the past week. And it don't matter if you're drinking the zeros or none of that. How much sugar do you put in that coffee? Do you know all the benefits from coffee go away when you put the sugar in it? All those benefits, all those antioxidants, tea as well, all those antioxidants and all of those benefits that you get from it, they go away. When you pour in that big 2 tablespoons of sugar. Why do you think the line at these box coffee shops are so long? People aren't that many people don't even like coffee. They like the sugar. How many people you think are pulling up in there getting black coffee? How many people pull up there getting black coffee with 2 Splendors? No one. And so when you look at all the people who are in the best shape, you know what they don't eat? Sugar. That's just the bottom line. But you don't have the discipline to not do it. When you miss a workout, why are you missing the workout? I just don't feel like going because you lack discipline. Man, let me tell you something. Everything I need to train, I have at home. I like going to the gym. But if I have something to do, I don't miss my workout because I have something to do. I just work out at home. You know you got to be up in the morning, you got to be to work at 6. Why are you still up watching television at midnight? You lack discipline. You know the things that are important, but you lack the discipline to pursue those things. You lack the discipline to do what's necessary to be as effective as you possibly can in those areas. When you think about peace of mind, why do you go, man, I don't go around people I don't like. Why are you going around people you don't? If I don't like you, you're going to know it because you ain't going to never see me. And when you do see me, I'm going to act like I don't see you. If I don't like you, we're not going to sit and chop it up and, hey, man, what's going on? We're not going to do any of that. Now, I'm not a total imbecile. So if you say, hey, what's up? What's up, BOA? What's up, Ray Ray? I'm going to hit you with this. What up? And I'm going to keep it moving. We don't have no conversation. I'm not dealing with the stress that takes away my peace. You don't have the wherewithal. You don't have the discipline to say, hey, my peace is more important than you. Who are you? Huh? Oh, my peace is more important than you. Wait, what's that? Oh, my peace is more important than that. How much money? Oh, my peace is more important than that. You love me? Oh, my peace is more important than your love. You want to do how many tricks to me? Nah, baby, my peace is more important than that. It takes discipline to build the life that you want, but it takes even greater discipline to maintain that life. Why? Because when you get something, when you accomplish a goal, some of the drive to is gone because you have achieved it. A bunch of the drive we have is to achieve goals. So once you achieve a goal, some of the drive goes away. You don't have the same drive to maintain it as you have to get it. That's why people continually set new goals in life. You continually set new goals so you can keep that drive, because if that drive is active, then whatever you're doing in your life is affected by that drive. So if you have the drive to a new goal, well, the goal you just accomplished, you're maintaining it with that same drive because you're in that drive mode. Put a one in the chat if you have sport on your car. You have sports mode on your car. If you have sports mode on your car, you know what that does. You know exactly what sports mode does. In every car that has sports mode, you know exactly what it does. And so you got to stay in sports mode. But it takes discipline to stay in sports mode, because you know what happened in sports mode? You burn gas quicker. Gas is very expensive. If you burn gas quicker, that means you burn up your tires quicker. You do that. But sports mode, you got to stay in sports mode. In life, you have to stay in sports mode. Yes, you're going to be tired. That's why you have the discipline to get the proper rest. Yes, you're going to need energy. That's why you have the discipline to get the proper food, the proper nutrition. Everything in life works together. Our body is a well-oiled machine, and so is our life. Whatever your body is, your life is built with the components that you need to add to your body, add to your spirit, add to your mind, add to your emotionality in order for you to perform optimally throughout your life. Like, you don't have to get old. Like, you don't have to physically get old. You can get older at age, but you don't have to physically get old. It's a choice we make. If you know your job is sedentary, you have no choice but to go work out every day. Man, you see what I'm doing? I'm sitting in front of the camera talking to y'all. Then I got some content I got to edit. You know what I'm doing? I'm sitting in front of the camera, but I ain't talking to y'all. I'm sitting in front of my computer doing this. So the better part of my day, my work day rather, the better part of my work day is spent right here. Then there are things that I have to go drive around to do. I have to go places. But when I go to those places, I may spend 30 minutes in a place, but I may spend 30 minutes driving there. So every hour I'm driving half of it. So I have to go. I have to get up in the morning, I have to do cardio in the morning, and then I have to go to the gym, or I have to work out in the morning and do cardio at night. I alternate it. But I have no choice but to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to be 300 pounds. And that 300 pounds, especially OG like me, 300-pound OG like me, ain't gonna last long. 300-pound 25-year-old, you better get it together and try to maintain it, or you ain't gonna never get rid of it. But me, OG, 300 pounds, man, I'm not gonna make it. I ain't got much longer. My quality of life is bad. Everything gonna be bad. You got to have discipline. You got to have discipline in the company you keep. If they're evildoers, you cannot keep the company of evildoers. The Most High tells you that. If they want to continue to live the life they do, you can't. Man, listen, if you eat pork, you can't even come in my prick. Bruh, you're not welcome here. If you eat pork, you smoke squares with your cigarettes, you eat seafood, all that, man, you can't come in my crib. You can't. You're not welcome. Don't bring your foulness in here. There ain't no pork in here. There ain't no seafood in here. We don't mess with that stuff at all. It ain't never been in here. Man, let me tell y'all something, brother. This is real talk. Last time I ate seafood, I was 12 years old. Before I even knew what the word was. I was 12 years old. God called me for this. You understand? The BOA stuff is real. It's real. It's gonna help you clear your life out so you can get to this. This isn't the way you get to BOA. BOA is the way you get to this. You clean your life out. You get that negative energy from around you. You get that energy that's draining your masculinity, because as a man, you got to come to God with all masculinity. You don't come to God until you're ready. You come to God as a man. You don't come to God as a fraction of yourself. You don't come to God as a mirror image of who you used to be. You don't come to God as a remnant of who you're supposed to be. You come to God complete and whole, man. You got to be ready to come when he call you. You got to be ready, or he ain't gonna deal with you. You can't deal with God emotionally. He can't even talk to you if you're in your emotions. So I want y'all to understand, you have to make sure that you are careful of the company you keep. You have to guard yourself. You have to guard your grill. You have to guard your money. You have to guard your life. You have to guard your energy. You have to stay on top of these things. And you know what it takes? One word: discipline. I could do this, but I should do this. That's all discipline is. I could do this, but I should do this. That's all discipline is. Doing what you know you should. It's very simple. And let me tell you something. If you can't muster the energy to work out for 40 to 60 minutes a day, you don't want to live. If you can't muster the discipline to replace those abominable foods with something else, to place that foul food with something else, to replace all of that sugar with something else. If you can't work out, man, do you understand that instead of eating all those sweet cakes, you can eat as much watermelon as you want to almost? Literally. Man, listen, bro, I'm gonna keep it buck with y'all. It's watermelon season in the South from about mid-June all the way through to August. Man, we be tearing watermelons up. Man, let me tell y'all something. I consumed an entire watermelon in a 24-hour period. And when I got on the scale, when I did my weigh in the next morning, I had lost half a pound. Literally, I lost half a pound. I It wasn't even a planned cheat meal, but a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday evening, I went to my homie restaurant, man. You got a fish restaurant. I went there. The fish is cool, but I got some fries with it. Man, let me tell y'all. After I ate that fish and fries, I woke up the next morning, bro. I was looking all puffy. It was really the fries. Man, I was looking all puffy. And man, I got on the scale, man. I had gained literally almost a full pound overnight, dog. I had literally gained almost 4 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about after I took a whiz and jizz and all that, man, bro. I literally, well, not a jizz. After I took a whiz and you know, uh, a poop. Man, I literally, bro. I had, man, even after that, I still had gained a pound. I'm telling you, bro, you can replace all of that foul food with something phenomenal. You just with something phenomenal. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be unhealthy. You don't have to feel like you don't have energy. Man, you don't have to live that life. You choose it. You don't have to have people around you that stress you out. You choose it. You don't have to have people around you that don't believe you. You choose it. You don't have to be in a situation where you're doing something you hate every day. You choose it. You choose this. God put before us life and death and said, choose. I leave it up to you. Choose which one you want. That's all this is about. Choices are about life and death. Are you going to choose life or are you going to choose death? What are you going to choose? You see that cake over there? You can eat it. You see this watermelon over here? You can eat it. Which one you going to do? What you going to do? You see that pork over there? You can eat it. See this white fish over here? You can eat it. Which one you going to do? You see this fried chicken over here? You see this baked chicken over here? You can eat either one of them. Which one you going to do? You see this one day of fasting over here? You see this never fasting and eat as much as you want to every day over here? You can do whichever one you want to. Which one you going to do? You see these people over here that believe in you, these positive energy people, these people that believe in the Most High, these people that live by the word of God. And then you see these people over here that's living foul, that's partying hard and drinking and smoking and doing all these things all the time and getting into all this devilment and sleeping with all these different people. You could choose any one of these crowd. They both like you. Which one you gonna flock to? All of this is on you. Stop making excuses in your life and look at your decisions. Everything in your life can be traced back to a decision that you made. And that decision is affected by one thing: your discipline or the lack thereof. There is nothing else that affects you. There is nothing else you can call on. There is nothing else you can say, man, this made me. Ain't nobody made you do nothing. Your lack of discipline made you do it. Everything that's right is on the other side of discipline. Everything that's wrong is on the other side of lack of discipline. Lack of discipline leads to lack of accountability because no one wants to accept the fact that everything that's wrong in my life, I did it to myself. It's much easier to blame somebody else, right? It's much easier to say, okay, that person, even though they cheated on me 3 times and I took them back and they kept on cheating, and then I took them back and they kept on cheating. Well, who's at fault there? They're not at fault for being a cheater. Whatever happened in their life, they're at fault for being a cheater. Well, you getting done how you get done is your fault. You are the one who didn't have the discipline to do what's best for you. That's all this is. Why don't you have the discipline to do what's best for you? Why don't you have that discipline? Why is it that suddenly everybody want to start getting in shape when they get sick, when they go to the doctor and their A1C high? Why everybody want to do that? Why weren't you? You knew you were on that path. There's enough information out here where you already know that you're on that path. Why do you have to go do that? Why do you have to do something extreme? You think about all the people that have to go have lap band surgery, or the people that have to go on what's his name, not Dr. Oz, but you know what I'm talking about. The little short doctor man who had the people on there, my 600-pound life. But this is no knock on those people. But you weren't born 600 pounds. You weren't born that. Look at all these people out here, man. You look at what they say about Houston. They say right now in Houston, Houston is the new mecca for things that you get when you are out here giving in to your carnal desires. Let's put it like that. The type of infections you get when you're out here giving in to your carnal desires. Well, here's the thing. It's your fault. If you're out there being with all of these people and then something happens to you from that, it's your fault. What are you doing? You have the choice to do what's right for you. You have the choice to protect yourself or the choice to neglect yourself. Which one you going to do? Protect yourself or neglect yourself. The choice is yours. Nobody going to make you do nothing. God ain't looking at, man, listen, God would not make the choice of life and death for you. God would not look at you. He would not force you to do the right thing. He wants you to do the right thing, but he ain't going to force you to do it. You got to choose it. You got to choose it. People out here, man, they can't even keep the Sabbath day holy. Why you can't keep the Sabbath day holy? Well, man, you know my job. Well, hey, man, God didn't say nothing about that. He don't care nothing about your job. He don't care nothing about that. Once you know the truth, he'll give you a slight grace period. After that, he expect you to do what you're supposed to do. He expect you to live by his word. He expect you to do these things. He expect you to eat this way. He expect you to live this way. He expect you to honor these things. He expect you not to honor these things. He expect you to ignore these things. He expect you to abhor these things. He expect you to do a lot of things as you gain the knowledge. Once you can't do what you don't know. You can't do what you don't know. They say ignorance is no excuse. Well, ignorance don't mean you don't know. Ignorance comes from the word ignore, right? It comes from the word ignore. Obedience comes from the word obey, right? Right? Radiance comes from the word radiate, right? Something that's radiant is exhibiting radiance. So something that ignores is exhibiting ignorance. So ignorance does not mean, I don't care what, bro, how are they going to convince you that ignorance means something else when they the one who taught you the language? So all the other words that have ANCE on it are related to the word that's in front of it, but ignorance isn't. And y'all believe, no, ignorance means you don't know. Man, I don't care about that. Ignorance means you're ignoring. It means you know and you're saying, I don't care. It means you know what you should be doing and you're saying, well, I'm not going to do it. It means you know what you should be doing and you're saying, who going to make me do it? And the funny thing is, as soon as things happen in life, then you want to turn around and start doing the right thing when it's probably too late. Many of us do this. You see people bring negative energy around you, you act like you don't even care. You just let them bring it. You let them talk to you crazy. You're in a situation. Some of y'all have jobs, man. You claim you love your job, but when you love your job so much, how come you hate your boss so much? How you gonna love your job but hate your boss? You know what I'm saying? Explain that to me. How you gonna love your job but hate your boss? Is that even possible? I don't think so. How is that even possible? So you go into this place every day that you absolutely abhor. You hate being there, but you're stuck there. You bring that negative energy home to your family. They can see it on you. You can't be an effective father. You can't be an effective wife. You can't be an effective father. You can't be an effective mother. You can't do any of that because the place you work is slowly draining you. I mean, it's slowly taking every inch of positive energy you got in you. Why? Because you don't have the discipline to say, okay, this gonna be a stepping stone for me. And then you make a career out of that place because you don't have the discipline to say, okay, they're gonna be a stepping stone for me. While I'm here, I'm gonna take these next 2 to 4 years and I'm gonna get this, or I'm gonna get this piece of paper, or I'm gonna get this license, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna upgrade this, or I'm gonna learn this skill, I'm gonna do this. That's all you gotta do. While I'm sitting here doing this content, you know what I've learned? I'm a fire camera guy, a fire videographer. I'm talking about fire, right? All I had to do was learn the basics of the industry. Angles, you know what I mean? How to get that shot, what's the angle for that shot? All I had to do was learn the lines. I already know the cameras. I already know how to record. I already know about shutter speed, aperture, ISO. I already know about all that. I know about the triangle. I know about all of that. So all I had to do was learn the basics, the first things they teach you. You know what I'm saying? The orientation, so to speak. I just had to learn the basics. And now you know what I am? I'm a videographer. So if nothing else, I show with my camera on set somewhere or send a resume out and do that, and I'm that. So I'm just telling y'all, you have to level up in life because you want to keep growing. Anything that's not growing is dying. Anything that's not growing, any living thing that's not growing is not growing because it's dying and it doesn't have the strength, the energy, the power, the desire to grow anymore. So we got to stop being that. And we got to understand that that's what it is. Look, you're running around doing all of these things. And you think what you think that means? It don't mean you putting God first, because you're definitely not putting God first. That's not what you're doing. But you want God to put you first. How you gotta be some kind of fool to want God to put you first, but you won't put him first. You want God to think about you, but you won't. What's the purpose in that? What is the purpose in that? You have to be realistic with yourself about the decisions that you're making in life. Don't worry about the decisions you made in the past. Worry about the decisions you're making right now. Fix the decisions in your life you need to make. If you waste a lot of money, look at all the money you've wasted. Don't worry about it. Make some more money. Don't waste it this time. Be disciplined. Whatever that thing is, that if you like to ball like a dog, if you like to buy everything you can buy, if you like to flex, if you got all these cars in the yard and if you got all this jewelry and all that, hey man, listen, stop blowing money. If you're a gambler, stop blowing money. If you have any other habits, stop blowing money. Have the discipline to just say no. Have the discipline to just walk away from things that don't mean you no good, man. How hard can it be to say no to things that you know are killing you? You say you want to live? Well, how hard can it be to look at, I want to live. Those things over there lead to death. Let me go this way. How hard can that be? Unless you're not being honest with yourself. You know what I believe? I believe that lacking discipline is just you telling yourself, I hate you, self, and I don't want you to live. I don't want you to live a good life. I don't want you to have an amazing experience on this earth as a human. I don't want you to have any of that. I want you to be in constant misery. I want you to make every bad decision you could ever make and feel as terrible as you could ever feel. That's what you're telling yourself when you lack discipline. Because discipline is not hard. Think about this. Saying yes is harder than saying no. Writing yes is harder than writing yes. Spelling yes is harder than spelling no because you have to say more words. If you got a minimal amount of oxygen left and you need to say yes or no and you're running out of oxygen, but you got to say one of them, aren't you going to pick no so you can say that little oxygen that you would have used saying the S on yes? It just makes more sense. It's not harder to say no than it is to say yes. It's not harder. Listen, yes, no. Let's try again. Yes, no. You act like this is the way it is. Yes. No. That's not how it is. It's yes, no. It's just as easy to say no as it is to say yes. So it's not about the difficulty of saying it. It's about the difficulty of understanding what you desire so strongly that's killing you that you can't even say no to it. I want you to think about something you can't deny that's destroying you, but you don't want to be destroyed, but you're still destroying yourself and you can't say no. Think about that, brother. There's people out here, man, that have been diagnosed with things and they still doing the same things that got them there. Think about all the people who were told you're pre-diabetic. And they jumped on the treadmill for a couple of days, and you know what they did? They start going right back to those places they were going to get them burgers and fries and soft drinks. Same person right now. Instead of letting that ice cream go, They back in there right now saying, you know what? Instead of eating that Rocky Road, I'm gonna drop it down to what the one with the Oreo cookies in it? Cookies and cream. I'm gonna drop it down to cookies and cream. At least it's only got cookies in it, not all the other stuff. I'm telling you, brothers, people act as if they don't want to live, bro. And I can't be around people that don't want to live, dog. I don't want to be around people that don't want to live. I don't want to be around people that don't want to breathe life into themselves and everyone around them. I don't want to be around those people, dog. I don't want to be around people who don't understand the value of getting the proper amount of rest. I don't want to be around people who don't understand the value of drinking the proper amount of water. I don't want to be around people that don't understand the value of exercise. It ain't even about going to the gym. It's about movement. The quality of movement is about moving. It's about doing things. You know what I'm saying? Like I would recommend taking up some type of martial arts. You know what I mean? If you want to have strength and flexibility, then with your working out, man, take up some martial arts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, it's a different world we live in, and everybody wants to live because life is so great. But there are so many tools of destruction around that we all have access to that you can literally destroy yourself without even trying now. You know what I mean? You can destroy yourself without even trying. A couple of super chats here, man. Markel, what's good, young brother? Appreciate you, man. Morning, King Ray Ray. I ended up missing a couple of live shows on the Kingdom of Ray, but I watched them as a good morning podcast to catch up. My apologies. Hey, no doubt, bro. No need to apologize, man. I know you being here getting it, bro. I know you out there getting it, man. You're a young brother who figured things out pretty quickly. Hey, man, use your time wisely, bro. Use your time wisely. Herring, salute, man. The more I resist temptation with God, the more God bless me on whatever I do. My business and my money multiply very smooth, and I know it's all God. Man, that's all it is, bro. Once God realizes he can believe in you and he can trust you to be disciplined with life, he'll give you blessings. But if you can't be disciplined in life, then why would he give you blessings to throw away at the things that you can't control? You know, why would God give you financial blessings when you blow so much money? Why would God give you financial blessings when you hate helping people? Why would God give you health blessings when you're not doing the things you think you're supposed to have health blessings while you're doing those things that destroy your health? Why would you think that? You think you could do whatever you want to do and then just pray? No, you playing God like a fool. Like he don't know you destroying yourself. He ain't never told you whatever you do, I'm gonna fix it for you. He ain't tell you that. Famo, I see you, bro. Salute. And so that's what we have to do, man. We have to understand that life is what you make it. But what you can make it is just based on discipline. Nothing else. Bro, there's only one word that matters in life, and it's discipline. Either you're going to do what God tell you to do or you not. Either you're going to do what's best for you or you not. Either you're going to do what works for you or you not. Either you're going to do what gives you a spiritual boost or you're not. You know, that either you're going to drink your water or you not. Either you're going to eat clean or you not. Either you're going to get the rest or you not. Either you're going to honor Sabbath or you not. These are the things. What are you going to do? Either you're going to abstain from giving in to your carnal desires or you're not. But the choice is always yours. So it's hard to sympathize with someone who's made choices in their life that led them down the path of destruction. And then they get down there. I'm like, man, you know, I so feel. Nope. If you don't feel bad for yourself while you're doing anything to yourself, why I'm going to feel bad for you? Help me understand that. Why would I feel bad for you about these things when you don't feel bad for yourself? How much sense does that make? Doesn't make much sense to me, brothers. I'm going to be honest with you. Royal T, I see you, brother. So I just want y'all to remember, the statutes and commandments of God must be kept. They must be kept. They must be kept. Some of y'all still can't honor your mother and father. It don't matter what kind of mother father they were. The word don't say honor thy mother and father unless they wasn't good, unless they weren't there, unless they did. Man, God told you to honor your mother and father. That takes discipline. If your parents weren't good parents, it takes discipline to honor them. Why? Because God said so. It takes you being out of your feelings to honor them. Why? Because God said so. It takes you existing within your spirit, man, to honor them. Why? Because God said so. That's why you have to be in tune with your spirit, man, so you can look at the things God tell you to do and just do them, and not let your feelings interfere with your spiritual connection with God. Because if you let your feelings for somebody else, whether hate or love, interfere with your connection with God, then you are loving them more than you loving God, which in essence means you are putting them before God, which in essence then again means that you have made them your idol. You are an idolater. You are worshiping an idol God. Yeah, that's the correct math on that. That's how that adds up. And so I want y'all to understand, man, live the life that you were meant to live here, but you must be disciplined in order to do that. Don't let anyone sell you anything other than discipline as what you need to do to achieve the life you want. It's hard work. You know, when you got to get up and you got to do what you got to do, and even when you don't feel like it, what is that? That's discipline. It's called doing what I have to do, no matter what. It's discipline. When you have to not take that deal because it ain't what you want, but the money is right, it takes discipline. Discipline. If you got a wife at home, you got a husband at home, and somebody else is trying to interfere in your household, somebody else is trying to bring adultery to your household, no, you have to have discipline. You have to have discipline, because lack of discipline leads down an ugly path. It's just not the path you want to go down. You know what I mean? It's just not the path you want to go down. If you out here, man, if you struggling out here, you don't have to tell people you're struggling, but you certainly don't have to be out here trying to act like you're not. Keep your financial business to yourself. Nobody has to know your financial business, but you have to have discipline. Many people out here, man, you get robbed because you're showing too much. You want to record yourself in jewelry and record yourself in fancy cars at these locations and all of this. What happens? Many people go because you don't have discipline to just be you. It takes a lot of discipline to just be you. To not be who society wants you to be, to not be who people want you to be. It takes a lot of discipline. And when I say a lot of discipline, I mean a lot of discipline. More discipline, in fact, than most of us have. And I want you to understand the benefit of having discipline. Because I'll say this, and you must know and understand this. Discipline is the key to life, and the lack thereof is the path to self-destruction. Nothing that I've ever said is more true than that. And that's real. Herring, appreciate you again, brother. Appreciate it. After I ask God to bless my plan, it's up to me to stay disciplined. Resisting temptation requires having a strong relationship with God. It does. You can't resist temptation by yourself. You can't be disciplined without being connected to God. That's how you know if you lack discipline, you're not connected to God. You think you are. You just think you are. You're not. It's easy to say you are because you can spew a couple of Bible verses, or you could do something like that. You know a couple of biblical hymns, and you've been going to church since you were 5. All of that sounds good, but if you lack discipline, you are not connected with God. Alpha rule number 3: always follow God. Always follow God. You see what I said? I didn't say believe in God. He ain't something to believe in. He ain't the Easter Bunny. He ain't Santa Claus. Follow, guys. See, you can't follow Santa Claus. You can't follow the Easter Bunny. You can't follow the Tooth Fairy. Follow God. Always follow God. The greatest, man, listen, the greatest foundation for discipline you'll ever find is your willingness to follow God. It must be done. All right, brothers, sisters, we're going to head on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all being here this morning. I just want to come in and give y'all the King Ray Ray Morning Show. A dose of some cold from your host with the most. And I share this with y'all from coast to coast, man. It's a phenomenal time to be alive. And you and I are blessed today that God gave us the breath of life to wake up again. So let's take it one day at a time. Don't worry about tomorrow, worry about today. Let's take it one day at a time and make sure that today, no matter whatever happens any other day, no matter what happened yesterday, no matter what's gonna happen tomorrow, let's stay disciplined today. Just today. Famo, salute. Everybody else in the joint, all my people, all my brothers, Rain the One Man. Hey, I appreciate y'all being in the joint. G Turner, what's good, brother? What's good? Appreciate you, bro. Sowing seeds on this God-given message. Amazing birthday present. Reminder for me. God bless you. Hey, brother. Blessed born day to you, man. Blessed born day to you. God has granted you a new year of life. And you know what, bro? Let me say a prayer for you, man, before we get out of here. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for giving my brother G Turner not only another day with the rest of us, but another year of life, another year to grow, another year to sow the seeds that he's going to need in order to build a life that he wants. I pray that you'll give him the wisdom that he's gained over the last year and let him remember every single morsel of it because he'll need it to feed himself, to feed his children in the future, to feed the people around him that rely on him, to feed his environment, to keep the energy positive, to keep the negative energy at bay. I also pray, Father, that you'll bless him to gain more insight, more wisdom, more understanding, to use the gift of learning in even a more strong capacity to learn more, to gain more, to become more, so that this next year of his life is his greatest year and that he makes it to one more of these. I woke up today ready to say, God gave me not only another day, but another birthday. Amen. Blessings to you, brother. Blessings to you. Hey, listen, brother, I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody being in the joint. We're going to go ahead and get ready to slide out of here, man. Y'all put God first. Y'all keep grinding. Y'all keep growing. And always knowing. Alpha rule number 3. Always follow God. And that way, you'll have the discipline that leads to life. Peace.